quickly show you what I made on the Wednesday night live with Kathy's cards, who is Kathy, of course, and Andrea, who is Andrea Stever, the Midnight Crafter, and Tina, who you could hear, who is Tina's Crafty Life, but you couldn't see her. And I think that's all we had on this week, and myself. So every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're doing something different as a group live. And, you know, Marlene Mars from Michigan is the one that really started this. She is having some issues and won't be joining us for a little while, but we hope she gets better soon, and because we miss her. And I'm fairly new to the group here. It's only my second time I've joined in, and I am humbled by the talent that I'm with on these lives. So anyway, we were doing bookmarks, and I made a couple. The first two I made were watercolor. And this one seems to be curling. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I did use Stampin' Up's current watercolor paper. And I used aqua painter and Stampin' Up inks. So this is the first one I did, actually. Sorry. And what I did is I used the detailed trio punch from Stampin' Up. As you know, I'm a demonstrator. And it has an oval hole punch in it that's great for tags. The edges I rounded using a non-Stampin' Up product, but you can use, there is a corner rounder on the detailed trio punch. This paper is pretty thick, the watercolor paper, and then and I did do it separately, but I backed it with, what is this called? Melon Mambo cardstock. But before I did that, I stamped with Versamark. And then I heat embossed with copper Stampin' Emboss powder from Stampin' Up this flourish. And the flourish is out of this stamp set that we'll be retiring. It's called Falling Flowers, and here it is. And I hadn't gotten to use the flourish, so I thought this would be a great project. Someone asked me if I drew this. No. Deb can't draw. I might be able to do something like that. Maybe not as fancy as that, but much more than that. No, I can't draw. So that's what that's out of. It's still available as far as I know, while supplies last till June 3rd, because the new catalog goes live June 4th. Okay, so that's where it came from. And so I heat embossed that, and then I took the water, I think they call them aqua painter or aqua brush, and the colors I used on this one were Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo up here at the top, and Mango Melody here in the middle. And how you do that is you take your stamp pad and just push in the middle. You have to kind of push hard, it seems like. Anyway, you get this blob in your stamp case. And then you just take your watercolor brush, squeeze some water into it, and then rub it around. And you can make it as weak or as strong as you want. So there, it's a little weaker. You can see it ran down. So yeah, that's how you do it. And then you clean your brush off when you're done. Have a little piece of, because you don't want that, well, you may not want that to go onto other projects, that color. So that's how you do it, and I'm actually going to take this, and as soon as I get my brush clean, and I think that's pretty good. Yeah. Put the lid on, and then I'm going to actually clean out my lid a little bit, which is a little bit of wasted ink, because it'll dry in there, and it'll be fine, but I don't like it to be that messy. So anyway, that's what you do. I need a new wipe to clean it better, but anyway, you can just leave it in there to dry. Close up your ink pad so your ink doesn't, or another thing you can do is if you have the refills in a little bottle, the ink refills. You can just put them on a glass mat or one of the Stampin' Blocks, put a little dot, and then do the same thing. Use your aqua painter. So that's what I did. So let me put these away. And then I kind of blended the two colors together. So very easy. I'm, not an expert watercolorist. Then the next thing I did is I took my Wink of Stella, and this actually is in the clearance rack, this color, the bright copper. On the next card I used the Champagne Mist, and that's available in the current catalog. This is in the clearance rack, so if you want the copper or the gold, head on over to the Stampin' Up! Clearance rack. If you shop with me, the link is down below for my web store with Stampin' Up!, but be sure to use the host code also shown down below. Anyway, you take that, you shake it up real good. There's a little ball in it that shakes it up. You get some in the lid. So you just take and I showed this on the video, I think. Just take this and, put a little bit on the end, or you could use your water pen. But how I did it, I just put a little on the end, and then you tap it with a pen or your aqua painter or whatever, and you get all these little specks, little specks on there, and they're sparkly. They're sparkly anyway because it's shimmer paint, and you actually could just use your water. You could use your water painter to do that as well. Just dip it in there, but I just think this adds a little bit more sparkle. And if you don't have an aqua painter or something, but you have a Wink of Stella brush, that's how you can do that. And it just adds little flecks of color all around. Then I did use some retired bling dots. These are no longer available. They were in a clearance rack last year. And the little butterflies are from the oh, I don't know what I did with it. They're from the, oh, hang on, Well Written Words. Here it is. One second, sorry. The Well Written Words dies. It's mostly words, but there's actually a little butterfly in here, and a little bird, and some little flowers and a heart. And so yeah, I just cut out a few butterflies on my die cutting machine. And then the ribbon is very vanilla, edged in copper. It's from the Tea Room Ribbon Combo Pack, which is in the current catalog. It's a duo. It has Coastal Cabana and Very Vanilla, both edged in copper. And they're in the current annual catalog, but they'll be retiring as well. So that's what I used on that one. So if you want them, you have to get them before June 3rd or while supplies last. So, hurry on over for things that you like. So that's how I did that one. Then I just glued the Melon Mambo cardstock. I cut it to the same size and shape. And I did use a non-Stampin' Up! Product of Stickles in the, I believe it was the Stardust, and just went all around the edges to just give it a little more sparkle. So yeah, sorry about that. I'm not using a Stampin' Up! Product. Okay, this one, same technique. The colors used this time were Bermuda Bay at the bottom, Granny Apple Green in the middle, and Coastal Cabana. Now I found the Granny Apple Green to be a little bit too dark for me, so I actually blended down the Coastal Cabana and the Bermuda Bay upwards a little bit into it to soften the green a little bit. So that's what I did there. And you just put these away. I got some glitter on that. Oops. Now this time I stamped this in Stays On, and I used Stays On because I knew I was going to be watercoloring over it. I will say with both of these, if you have a stamping tool such as the Stamparatus, available at Stampin' Up!, which I love, by the way. It comes with 2 of these plates, or doors, whatever you want to call them. You can get grid paper. It also comes with a mat. Let me put that up here. this is the mat. It comes with it for use with photopolymer stamps, which this one is not. You can get the grid paper extra, and it comes with 2 magnets which store on the bottom. So how cool is that? And there's also a handy little bag you can get that carries all your accessories and the stamparatus as well. So you can see I have my extra door, my grid paper in there, and my stamparatus goes right over there. There you have it. See? So really pretty, and it's in the colors of Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy, and Whisper White. Let me get it. And a cat fur, piece of cat fur on it. That doesn't come with the bag. That's just my little tuxedo cat, Callie. These are a little fur every now and then. And same thing, I use retired blings on this. This ribbon is still available currently. It's Coastal Cabana and Granny Apple Green. It's from the Occasions catalog, so it's while supplies last. So it's Granny Apple Green on one side, Coastal Cabana on the other, and I actually just stapled it on. I might take this one out. I put that one on first, and then it wasn't really holding, so I stapled it again onto the tag. This is backed with Coastal Cabana, and again I used the stickles going around and the detailed trio punch up here. And the butterflies from the Well Written on there. I have to have my butterflies on there, right? And this one I did put speckles on is also. There you can see some of them. That was the champagne mist, and I did it the same way I showed you with the copper. Okay. Then this one is actually the first one I started. Here I didn't use the detailed trio punch. I used the, what is this called? Scallop tag topper punch, which I love. I love the shape it makes at the top. And this is carrying over to the new annual catalog, and there's also another one coming that's similar, but well, you'll have to wait and see. I'm going to be trying to get that in my pre-order if they let us. If not, I'll have to get it later, because we're only going to be allowed to order certain things in our pre-order, which I don't know what they are yet. These are the enamel heart shapes in different sizes, and they're clear. Let's see if I have any left. I have one strip of them left. They're called heart epoxy droplets. They will be carrying over, but what I did is I colored them with light and dark lovely lipstick Stampin' Blends, which are Stampin' Up's alcohol markers. Okay, and I love it that you get a light and a dark. Makes it really easy, takes the guesswork out of which colors to blend to what. The love is from the Well Written Words frame dies that also will be carrying over, which I just showed, and it has the words happy, you, thanks, baby, hooray, love, groom, bride, friend, welcome, miss, birthday, wishes, sympathy, and then it's got flower, the bird, the ampersand sign, butterfly, and a tiny heart. Okay, so, and then these other couple little blings are out of a retired pack. And then instead of gluing it down, what I decided is I just glued the top part. It lifts up. I did make a little envelope. Now I used a mini envelope punch board. Stampin' Up! Currently carries the regular one. You might be able to use that as well. That will be going away in the new catalog, the envelope punch board. Same thing, I did the light here and the dark here. I just put a little piece of Whisper White in here, which I don't have tacked down, to write a little note on, you know, just a little tiny love note on this one. And so I thought that was cute. And that's what I did on that one. And then the last two, I used paper from the Twinkle Twinkle collection. And I also used the Twinkle Builder Punch, which, oops, I got ink on me, which has a moon and different size stars and one little dot. And what I did, I made one sort of girly. I used petal pink, and on this one I used gray granite, and I cut the moon and the stars out of the petal pink that I used to back the bookmark. And on this one I used the gray granite, excuse me, in the back of the paper shows through, which has some constellations in it. And you can put like a to from or write a little message at the top. The moon and the bigger star on this one I popped up on mini dimensionals, which are available at Stampin' Up. They're much smaller than the regular size ones, but and they're not quite as deep either, which is fine. So you can see these are the minis versus these are the regular size. So, and I love both of them. I love the dimensionals. I just love Stampin' Up's dimensionals. I think they work great. This one I didn't bump up, but I did end up putting stickles on them also, and I think I used Stardust on those as well, on all of it to make it glimmer, and I did not go around the edges on those though. For the top, I used the Petal Pink and Silver and Petal Pink Baker's twine. That will be retiring. Really pretty twine, and I cut 3 lengths of it, and then I just folded them over, popped them through the hole, which is from the Detailed Trio punch again, and then glued the pieces together. This one I have to trim a little bit, I see. So that's it. I made them a little longer because I thought some kids' books are a little longer. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could cut a little bit off them, but I think I like them long like that. So those are my projects. That's what I made Wednesday night. You really should go over, if you haven't seen Kathy's live replay, because Andrea made some beautiful shabby vintage type bookmarks. I personally wouldn't use them as bookmarks. I'd use them more like tags or wall hangings, but they're beautiful. I made mine more flat because I felt like they'd go into the books better as a bookmark. I don't know. I could be wrong. And then Kathy did the corner bookmarks. It's like origami folding, and it's funny because I considered doing that as well, and then I didn't have time to practice it beforehand, so I didn't want to do it. And she made some really beautiful corner bookmarks, and Tina did some mixed media ones, watercoloring and different things, and decoupaging. So yeah, be sure to check out. Now I know Tina has done a video also so that you can see her projects, because you couldn't see them on the live for some reason. She came in a little late and we couldn't get her to be visible, but we could hear her, and we could see her, but you guys couldn't. So anyway, be sure to check everyone out. I am going to put these up on my blog sometime this weekend. I will only be telling you the Stampin' Up products I used on that blog. That's why I'm doing this video, so you know what other products I use, like a stapler and the stickles. But mostly it was, and the retired products I can't share with you. Or if they have it on the list, it may take you just to the main shopping page. If it's no longer available, that's how the link will usually work. And also, if you're watching this, you know, after June, and some of these papers like these, and this is, I forgot to tell you, this is from the All My Love Designer Series paper. These are from the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper. And I did tell you about these. So now the punch, the Twinkle Builder punch will carry over, but the paper is not. And these ribbons I've shown you are not. Oh, and this ribbon was a set in the Occasions catalog that contained this lovely lipstick ribbon and a thinner Fleur de Flamingo. I don't have any more of the Fleur de Flamingo to show you. I used it in my paper pumpkin alternatives. Which I'll also have up on my blog sometime this weekend. So anyway, that was where that came from. And I think I went over everything else. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to try and help you. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you the next time. Hugs, love, and peace.